Good morning, good afternoon, YouTubers from around the world. We're still trying to find a better source of water down there, but the thing is, the liner that we put down 2 weeks ago, they can't push it down anymore. The clay is clinging to the sides, probably doesn't help with having those small slots on the side, so now they're gonna try and pull it out. Now it'll be interesting because pulling out a 195 foot tube out the ground, I shouldn't think that's too easy. But let's go down and have a look and see what's going on. Yeah, so as I walk down here, they've got about 40 foot of water in the tube. When they bring up the tool that clears the hole after drilling, on the rope that's attached to that tool, it's cleaned about 40 foot. But the source of water isn't still good enough. It's probably not filling up that. If you wanted to draw that out with a pump, it probably wouldn't replenish that quick. So we are going to go deeper. The depth at the moment is 331 feet. No, sorry, that's a bit ambitious. No, 231 feet. So we're aiming for 275. And we're going to go from there and assess it if we need to go any deeper. But at the moment, they've got a job pulling this tube out. There's clay down there. Obviously, you've seen that from the last vlogs, and that's sticking to the side of the tube. So what they're going to do, in theory, is try and get this tube out, like I said, but then put a slightly bigger tool down just to open up the hole so this tube slides down there a lot easier, and then they're going to go from there. I'll probably have to buy a few more lengths of tube to add to it, but anyway, let's go down and have a look. So they're going to attempt to pull this tube up. I'm not really sure how, but let's have a look. Now it won't start, so they've got to probably clean out the carburetor or maybe air filter. Just trying to get that hook down there to grab the side of the tube. There you go. Maybe that's what. Yeah. So that hook, there's a hook on the end of this bar. I'm surprised they haven't put some water down the side of the tube, but they know what they're doing. Well, I think they do. Okay, this is 2 days after we attempted to pull the UPVC tube out the ground. As you could see, it didn't come out from the video footage. So this is plan B now, which is a bit more expensive because I've had to go out to the hardware store and order some 3-inch diameter steel tube now to go inside the UPVC, because we are going to go a bit deeper and we don't want that wall collapsing. And not only that, the submersible pump that's going to go inside the tube, it can't just float around in muddy soil down there because it just get contaminated and probably ruin the pump. So next week, because this is the Friday, the guys are lifting the tubes from where they were left up on the building site down here at the moment. so next Monday, which is 2 days away. This is Friday. Maybe a bit more than 2, but still, there you go. They will start welding them together. Normally these are fixed together with couplings, but if you put the coupling on, the diameter is going to be too big and it won't go in the UPVC tube. So that's the plan. Another problem is bringing a cable down, an extension cable for a welder, which I've ordered some cable. That's not cheap. Number 10 gauge, 6,000 pesos a roll. I've only ordered 1 roll because I think they've got an extension, and we've got to bring that from up the top there to down here. You know, you can't just run a normal cable, otherwise it would just melt within no time. So that's the progress at the moment. I'm not sure whether there's anything else to show you. I'll just show you, turn the camera around and show you the tube a minute, and then maybe Monday I'll update again. Plan B. There's a bit of a muddy, clayey mess around here now. You know, it's all drying out, but there you go. There's the tube there, 6 meters each. These tubes, the guys are still bringing them down now. 6 meters, galvanized. They're normally put together with a coupling, but obviously that's not going to go in that tube with a coupling on it. So they're going to weld them. I think they've done that before. You know, they've probably come across this problem before, but you know, I did say to myself that that tube was going to be really difficult to pull out, especially where they put the slots in there as well, and you get clay, you know, maybe gripping hold of that. That's got to be, you know, it's got to be really, really tight in there. So that's plan B now. Let's see how we get on. There is water down there. There's about 40 foot of water, and when they drag it out, it does get replenished. So we'll have to see when we do a water test. When we put a pump on there, we'll have to see how much water's in there. You know, did I go the right way? I don't know. I just stopped a tanker because there's a tanker going to some guy's house a little way, and I just asked him how much it was for a tank load of water. It's quite a big one, the tank. 500 pesos. So maybe I should have went that way. I don't know, but we'll wait and see. You know, 500 pesos, maybe, I don't know how long that would last. Probably maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3, I don't know. So, you know, it all adds up in the end. Anyway, I think that's it for the update so far, and we'll go from there. Okay folks, this is 4 days later after the last little piece of filming. What they've decided to do is basically drill every other day and put water down the hole to soften up the clay down there, because it takes so long to put all these pipes together and the clay is so tough. Now I'll just give you a bit of film of what they're doing and you'll understand that, and then we'll go from there. So we've got a different crew now. We've got the young mean team. Not saying the other guy was not doing a bad job. We've just measured the water on this rope. You can tell when it's obviously wet, it's a different sort of shade, and at the moment we've got about 85 foot of water on that rope, which is a good sign. But you know, I'm going to put a picture up on the of the G scan so that you can understand where we're aiming for. There we go. It's coming up now, I think. Not really sure. So that plastic tube has sunk into the ground now. Where they said they couldn't move it last time, it's decided to move. So, you know, what can you do? The tube decided to move and I went out and brought a load of steel tube instead, but there you go. Anyway, it's coming up now. Look, it's full of water. What they're trying to do is empty the end where there's a load of clay in there. There you go, so it's pouring it in there. They'll probably give it a little knot, try to empty out the crap. There you go, drop it out. Not a great deal really. Seems like a lot of effort just to take out a little piece of clay, but they know what they're doing, I think. But they've got to do this about 20 times to make sure that hole is clear before drilling again. They most probably tomorrow. So the tube's still there, waiting to be welded up, but we're not going to do that yet until I presume they're aiming for the 275 feet, which is 75 meters. So they're getting ready to measure how deep they've gone so far. He's just trying to get that valve down there to close so that the catcher will fill up with water. A bit of a technique. So there you go, he just uses a stick. I presume that is 5 feet in length. So we start counting from now, see what happens. How many feet? 237 feet, okay. Nearly there, nearly, I think. I have thought about you could sell this product to the Western world for a beauty product. You could put this on your skin, put it in pots. No, only joking. Okay, this is Sunday the 29th of March. Losing track of time. There's been not much progress. I popped down here a couple of days ago. They said they were 240 feet deep, so that's the final so far. And Monday they're going to have to clear out the hole again, so probably got a bit of collapsing going on down there, not much, but I'm going to call it a day at that. I was hoping that they were going to weld these tubes and put it on this blog, but obviously not. So like and subscribe. I've got a beer today. I've been up to the site and one of the guys brought me a beer, believe it or not, so I owe him one. I feel a bit embarrassed taking it, but still, there you go. And like and subscribe, and I'll see you in probably 2 weeks time for another upload. Cheerio for now. Tag eye.